False or misleading claims by billionaire Elon Musk about the US election have amassed 2 billion views on social media platform X this year. That's according to a recent report from where we're joined by Dr. Karen Sutherland from the University of the Sunshine Coast, also our resident expert when it comes to all things social media. Great to see you.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. As the day moves on, we are asking a lot of questions and looking at some of the things that could be influencing the outcome of this election. We think back 4 years ago and 4 years prior to that, it started with Russian influence and it turned to Meta, Facebook influence. Now we're talking about Elon Musk's influence as well. He is now a media proprietor. X and Meta and Facebook and YouTube are huge publishers that are probably doing bigger numbers these days than what we're seeing from traditional media.
Absolutely. The reach is just phenomenal. It takes one person of influence to share misinformation, but then it's not only shared on that particular platform, then it makes it to other platforms as well, like Telegram and Reddit. And before you know it, it's just like wildfire and it spreads.
And talk to us about these claims.
The real issue is that he's trying to sway these swing states like around Pennsylvania and try and mislead voters there.
Yeah, he's been out very strong there, as we just saw from those pictures. How effective do you think has X's community notes feature been in addressing this election misinformation? Because a lot of people wouldn't be aware. X seems to, a bit like Twitch now, it's a platform, a very niche platform, but a very loud platform as well.
Oh, that's true. And the community notes, so for those who don't know, it's really almost like a feature on X where people can make notes around particular posts so they can add context. But I guess with the sort of the premise of trying to write inaccurate information, but it's been terrible. It's been terrible. They've said basically around any sort of corrections have been missing from about 74% of misleading posts on there. So it's not great. It's not great at all.
At least they tried. 25% is nothing, right? If you get it right 25% of the time. For the first few years of Elon Musk's rockets, he got it right 25% of the time. Talk to us, though, about Musk's influence on election-related discussions as well. I was making the comment earlier in our programming that for a lot of people who follow Elon Musk and maybe are influenced by him, some people see him as the Terry Stark kind of character from Iron Man. They're really excited by this futuristic man from another planet, as Donald Trump refers to him as, but trying to get the gaming community who follow him out of their houses, away from their games and to polling booths is quite difficult. We talk about the influence from an online side, but elections aren't fought or won online. You have to get to the polling booth.
That is true, but I think there are some sort of mail votes you can actually send in. Maybe the mail ballots are the ones that group will go for.
The mail gaming ballots.
Yes, but it has 203 million followers. And as we said, the reach is phenomenal. And at least 87 of his posts throughout this whole campaign have been misleading, as found by fact checkers. And it's, as you said, 2 billion views these have amassed. It's just a worry. And there are people out there, as we've seen, who really idolise this guy. And it's a worry, the influence that he has, particularly if it's around misinformation.
Yeah, very much. Now we have a look at if Trump gets in, he's talking about changing the entire relationship with the FCC and the media. He hasn't been happy, as we know. A lot of Trump supporters do not like the mainstream media. He's angry about ABC and their election coverage during that debate. He's angry about SNL over the weekend having Kamala Harris on, and the FCC vice chairman at the moment, who happens to be a Republican, is saying that was a clear way of trying to get around some of the rules as well. Do you think that we will see a tightening of social media rules under either side? When you're looking at countries like Australia talking about some sort of age ban, you have to be a certain age to be able to use social media. You also look at during the Trump presidency, where first was the talk about the ban on TikTok in the United States. That was a national security reason as well, but TikTok's still going strong in the United States as well. Do politicians have as much as an influence on social media platforms these days as social media platforms do on politics?
I don't think so, honestly. And I think nothing really concrete has ever really eventuated from all of this talk about regulation. And I think the horse has bolted, honestly, and I think they're really just saying that to try and win votes. And if you think about it, all the talk about banning TikTok, they've used it to their advantage, of politicians in this race, to actually reach out to younger voters. So, yeah, so I think it remains to be seen if anything will actually ever be done.
Yes, one could only hope. We'll leave it there for now. Of course, as always, thanks so much for your insights. Dr. Karen Sutherland there from the University of the Sunshine Coast, and our regular social media. I think we've been doing this for 5 years, you and I.
I think so, yeah.
Happy 5 year. Happy 5 year. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Karen. All right.